I always really enjoy taking a bit of a step back and just looking down on everything that we've built so far, and just, there's something about it. There's just something about it that feels kind of cool, and I like that it's still expanding. I like that there's still work to do. I'm excited to do all of that, but I just like taking a step back sometimes and looking at everything that we've done. Speaking of things that we've done, I've gone ahead and brought in a couple more hearthlings since the last episode, and I've started to change the farms a little bit. You might remember I've mentioned that the most efficient way, in my opinion, to do farming is with individual strips like this, because then you don't end up with a situation where you have an unusable strip of farmland. And I still stand by that, but just for ease of management, because honestly, being able to click on a field like this and change everything in one go, rather than having to click on every individual row, it's just nicer. And honestly, I want to turn all of this space up here into farmland anyway, so I don't mind having the larger fields because we're going to have quite a few of those. So I'm not too worried about the idea that we're going to have a situation here where there's more fields than perhaps there were. I don't know if that makes sense. I just like this idea. I also like the idea of going ahead and putting down some lights up there at some point. So I've had my mason working on some stone garden lanterns that I want to go ahead and I want to basically place into a couple of different spots. So there and there, for example, I'd like to maybe put one there as well. We could go ahead and put them in, say, that corner and that corner as well, just to try and light the space up a little bit. We could go there and there if we really wanted to. I think I might cancel that one and just move one a little further back and just generally have the space look like it's got, you know, a bit of development going, because we've just sort of threw the farms up there and done absolutely nothing with them. Other than that, there's not really been much else. There was at one point a group of soldiers came by looking to trade, and I went ahead and bought a stone archery target and a stone training dummy from them. So I figured we can get a bit more training going at some point with those. And I guess the only other change worth pointing out is that I've said to my workers that they're not going to be doing mining. They are just going to be doing hauling and building. And the idea there being that I want them to just move things that need moved. I want them to build things that need built. I don't want them doing mining. We have miners for that exact reason. We don't need haulers doing any mining. There's a job for it. And I've also gone ahead and put a ladder back in here, because I did see some comments in the previous episode that mentioned that the gravestones out here would not get picked up because the ladder was gone. So again, I've gone ahead and put a ladder in here so that we can start getting all of the loot that's down there, and so we can go ahead and start harvesting these trees, because as it stands, building is not happening because we don't have any wood. And obviously, I could chop down the trees that I've placed out here. We have, at times, chopped down the trees that I have placed out here. And honestly, I might go ahead and say, let's harvest these ones, just to get like a little space going through there. But I don't really want to chop down the trees in here. I'm kind of placing those intentionally, and I'm kind of placing those to be almost more decorative than anything else. So I don't really want to chop down any trees that I have placed myself, so I'm not really going to do too much of that. Speaking of other things that I've gone ahead and placed, I decided to move the shepherd over to this space, and basically we're going to have rabbits right here, we're going to have chickens right here at some point, and we're going to need to figure out how to feed them, because we haven't done that yet, but we'll figure that out. Let's go ahead and bring in Hearthling number 25, Snorri Kettle. Good old Snorri Kettle. What a name. All right, well, fair enough. Let's go ahead and have Snorri Kettle not do any mining there as well. And once they're done with this right here, once they're done with all this deleting, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give the final mining order to clear out this last level of that tunnel, and then we're not going to need ladders whatsoever. Now, speaking of mining, how's this going? It's going, is what it's doing. This space here, for some reason, oh, we need to resume it. Okay, let's go ahead and resume the mining there. And we can finish the bunker up here, which, again, I saw another comment that mentioned that maybe using the bunker as a training area for my soldiers would be a really good idea. And you know what? I really like that idea. I like that idea a lot, because I think what we could do is maybe have each individual room be like a specific training thing. We could put some crafting up here as well if we really wanted to, maybe some emergency storage. But I'm thinking this big room right here, we could maybe almost build into it and turn it into either like a big meeting hall type thing, or what I'd be inclined to do is almost make it like a maze of doors and walls and then put the rally point in here so that if we go into an alert mode that's actually really bad, we can go ahead and have all of our hearthlings come up here, go through all the doors, get into safety, and then whatever's trying to get through, if it does get to them, is going to take a while. Not that it's going to matter too much, because honestly, if something does get up there, the chances are the soldiers are dead. So we're not going to be saving the hearthlings, we're just going to be postponing their cruel and unusual death, or deaths in that case, I suppose. But you know, that might not be a bad idea. It might not be a bad idea, is what I'm thinking. Anyway, we'll figure that out once we, you know, we'll figure it out. Is what I'm getting at. You know, we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening, and we'll see whether or not, you know, that's something that would be worth doing. Because I'm just not sure if it is something that would be worth doing. Anyway, what I do want to do is I really want to get this construction going. I really want to get these two buildings done. And I think based on the fact that I'm pretty sure some of this blueprint has moved a little bit, I think we might be chopping down some trees. I'm not too sure. We have got hearthlings. Yeah, so you've got some wood. Okay. So yeah, there is some tree chopping going there. You will bring me bright bell seeds. I'm not really interested in flower seeds is the thing. What I'm really interested in right now, also I can see through there. That's interesting. That was not intentional. I can see through quite a few of these spots. Interesting. Whoops. Maybe I shouldn't have put windows in certain spots. Oh well. We'll not stress too much about that. Wait, did I? Oh, I'm an idiot. Oh no, I know why I did this. Yeah, we had to do that because we couldn't get, okay, never mind. Let's bring Hearthling number 26, and let's have you set to not do mining as well. You're actually quite intelligent. Your body stat's not bad either. What are you? So you have a magnificent beard. That's an amazing stat, isn't it? That's an amazing stat. Hold on, I need to look at this guy. Let's have a look here. He does. Credit to him. You know, credit to him. I like that. Like that. That's a stat. I like that. That's a thing. Okay. You are actually quite courageous, which is interesting. Your body stat's not very good, but honestly, I don't really have a problem with making you an archer. To be totally honest, we'll keep you as an archer because that'll keep you a little bit away from the fight. You are a passionate cleric, but your body stat's terrible, so we're not going to really let you do that. You are a hothead. You are a light sleeper, and you love praising the sun. Interesting. Okay. And you're quite intelligent here. So do we maybe want to have you do something like be a weaver? Because I'm pretty sure we have a weaver. Yeah, we do. Well, I don't really need a potter. I'm not going to lie. I don't really care for a potter. So we could do, I don't think a trapper is needed either. I don't really know. Do we have a trapper right now? I know we have got a shepherd. Yeah, I don't think we do. So we don't have a trapper right now. Let's have someone become a trapper then. So I don't know what, so spirit, the high spirit hearthling will easily befriend animals. Okay. So you've got very high spirit. Let's have you become a trapper is what we'll do. So you're going to go do that rather than, what do you mean you can't find food? What do you mean you can't find food? You just got, okay. Well, fair enough. Anyway, good news is we've got this new archer who I think is going to go do some training, which is fantastic. There we go. We've got our level 1 trapper. So let's go ahead and set up a trapping ground. Let's just go and say right here can just be a big old trapping ground for, I don't know, bugs, maybe. There's no wilderness here. So very few trappable animals. I guess let's do... I don't know. Let's do big game, I guess. And then we'll go ahead and what we can maybe do is... What is this? A birch... Oh, birch tree seeds. Interesting. A yew tree. That's actually kind of cool. Let's do some birch trees. Right, so let's throw a couple of these down so that this area is kind of a little bit more wild. I don't know if this is actually going to work, but we'll give it a shot and see what happens. So we'll do something like that. I'm not really caring too much for a yew tree, but I guess we could do one there, maybe add a little bit of wilderness. We have a lot of cherry bushes that we could play with, which I'm very tempted to do. I'm very tempted to line things with cherry bushes, but we'll not... Let's not get too out of hand right now. Let's just let things happen and see how things go with the birch trees and the yew tree and the trapper and the shepherds and all that stuff. Because we need to feed the chickens, we need to feed the rabbits, and we can't feed them and other animals that we catch. So, I mean, that was dark. That was dark. That was where my mind went immediately. It's like cannibalism. Yes, that's not quite how that works. What is this though? Raw bug meat. Okay, apparently in some cases. Not quite cannibalism, but sure. So what do we got here? We got Poyo feed, which is bugs. I guess that makes sense. We got sheep feed, moo feed, ostrich feed. We don't have rabbit feed because we don't have baskets of carrots. So are we actually maintaining this is my question. And more to the point, are we actually even making any... Yeah, we are sort of making animal fodder. I feel like my cooks are not doing much. I don't want to say that they're not doing much, but I feel like they may not be doing much. I'm really not sure where they are, is what I'm getting at. What is this? Rugged Survivalist. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I want to go ahead and sell. Oh, I can only sell 7 of these. Well, we'll sell all of them. That's fine. We've also got a lot of armor we can play with at some point, but I want to know what my cooks are doing. So... You're doing... What are you doing right now? Sleep? Well, yes, but... I want to know if I was to turn off hauling for these guys, would they maybe focus on actually cooking as opposed to, you know, going ahead and farming? That's kind of what I'm wondering, because if that was the case, I would totally do it, but I just don't know. So I guess we're going to be waiting to find out. Good news is, though, like I said, we are starting to get some wood coming in. We're starting to bring in all of the haulable stuff. And we are starting to see a little bit more construction going, you know, here and there. So, no major complaints. Everything will happen in due time. We've got a couple of, well, one of the birch trees ready to grow a little bit. And yeah, we're just going to be waiting on the chickens kind of, well, I mean... I would say growing up and all that, but for the most part, they're going to starve because we're just not feeding them. So it's kind of whatever. I do want to mention though, I mentioned earlier about a couple of the comments that I'd seen that had ideas for the bunker up here. I have seen a couple of comments that are mentioning some solutions for the food problems that we've been having and the production problems that we've been having. And I am going to do some stuff to try and fix those issues. I'm not ignoring the comments. It's just a case of, and I've sort of explained this before, but it's been a little while since I explained it. I don't often record these videos the day before or the day that they're going out. In the case of this one, I'm actually recording it on the day it's going out, which is not all that common. I don't usually do that. A lot of these are recorded maybe a week before they go out. In the case of Satisfactory, by the time part 16 of that series goes out, that will have been a live stream from almost a month prior. That's very rare as well, but often it takes, it'll be, you know, a week-ish before I can react to the comments from a video in a future episode. And that's just the way I work. I don't like to just sit down and record for 30 minutes and then be like, okay, that's all I need to do. I like to record a lot because I like to have fun with the games and continue playing them. And I don't really do multiple saves for games as I'm playing them for the channel, because if I do that, I could go like, you know, load up another save and come up with a really good strategy and then apply that strategy to Astoros and then be like, hey, here's a really cool thing. But you wouldn't have seen the process for coming up with that strategy. You would have just seen me being like, hey, look what I did. You know, here's a cool idea. Let's do that. You don't see the thought process. You don't see how that was the thing, you know. I hope I'm making sense. I'm rambling, but I hope that makes sense. And that explains why, you know, I don't necessarily respond to every single comment as it comes up in a specific video. It's just the way the workflow is, and it's kind of common across YouTube, to be honest. A lot of creators can record stuff way ahead of time. It's just easier. It's really easy because it also means that if I get sick, I don't have to worry about like taking a day off to not be sick. It means that the things actually stay more consistent, which I'm gonna give myself a little pat in the back. After all the time off I've had in the last 12 months, we've just had a full 4 weeks of videos. On top of that, I posted 24 videos last week. No, 22, I think. Because there were 12 videos posted in this channel, and then there were 10 posted over in the live stream archive channel. Admittedly, those 10 were recorded in 2018, but still, that was 22 videos in a single week, so not gonna complain. Anyway, that's enough, you know, enough of that, whatever that was. Hey, look how good I am, guys. Enough of whatever that was. Let's see what the Hearthlings are doing. So they are just holding everything, aren't they? That's kind of their, there's a skull right there. That's kind of their thing right now, I guess, is just bringing everything in, which I'm okay with. Honestly, I'm not too worried about that. I'll tell you what I do want to do, though. I want to go ahead and get rid of a lot of these fields while they are currently not full of crops. So this right here is the process I had to go through to get rid of all of those other fields. And let me tell you something. This is soul crushing. Also, I'm probably going to get rid of that tree. I know I said I wasn't going to get rid of that tree because I kind of like it in the middle of these fields, but I'm getting rid of that tree. Oh, now this is interesting. We have Kobold Wolves appearing, which means that we're getting... Oh, wow. We are getting... wow. Okay. This is interesting. Kobolds are the next step up from goblins in terms of things that we're going to have to be fighting. This also seems like a fight that I'm going to want to micromanage a little bit. So, let's just be as careful as we can. Let's deal with this one. And then let's deal with that wolf as quickly as we can. Then let's deal with that guy at the back, since he seems like he's probably in charge. And now he is dead. Then we'll deal with this one, which should be relatively easy to kill. And then we just got the last one to deal with and we'll be fine. There we go. All right. So not really a huge deal on that fight, but really? I don't think I'm going to worry too much about the colony of rabbits. I think we're probably all right there. That's probably fine. What we do have, though, which is kind of interesting, is I think I've made it already. Maybe I haven't. I think I need to go to my carpenter, if I'm not mistaken. And we can, if we really want to. Maybe I can't. Is it my blacksmith that has to do it? It's my blacksmith that has to do it. So a level 6 blacksmith can make this decorative scout gong, which if we place it, is essentially going to be the marker for whatever the next stage of combat happens to be. And if I'm completely honest, I feel quite confident about moving forward in combat. We're not bad at what we do. You know, I feel like we're really not bad. Food still isn't where it needs to be. Net worth is fine. Construction is slow, although it is advancing over here a little bit as well. It's still very slow, but, you know, it'll get there. We do need to take this stump out of here so I can go ahead and start putting more farms into this space, but again, we're sort of getting there is what we're doing. I'm also thinking that I'm probably going to want to go ahead and put more... Are you getting rid of that? Yes, you are. Thank you. All right. Let's go ahead and do a few more sections of this path here. I'm not really sure what way I want this path to go, but I do want it to come over. I do want it to go there. And then maybe it just goes right into the middle. I'm not really too sure. where this path should go. I think what we do is maybe this, and then maybe bring it over. And then technically speaking, we could try and put some stairs in here and loop things around, which is very tempting, I'm not going to lie. But what I'm going to try and do to be a little bit sneaky is maybe a tunnel. I might try and do a tunnel. But I think what we'll do is we'll say build that first. So we'll get that all mined out, which should be a fairly quick process. It really, yeah. So there we go. Everybody's kind of doing their thing there. We should see that get mined out quite quick. That should be a good thing. And then we can go ahead, we can get the roads in, we can get the farms in, and everything is going to be beautiful, is what it's going to be. Blacksmith level 6, that's fantastic news. That means the blacksmith can actually go ahead and craft up that gong. So let's go ahead and say craft it. We need to place it in order for the combat to advance. So it's not like we're going to be going straight to war here. But it's going to be useful to have that, I think. I'm gonna stick to the phrase I think for the time being. Because if things go badly, then it was just a thought. It wasn't a confident idea that went terribly wrong. It was just a thought. And that's okay. Probably. That's probably fine. What is this, a yew tree seed? Can we place another one of those down? I suppose we can. Let's do one, I don't know, there. And we'll see how things go. We do have a decent little number of chickens. Well, we have some chicks and a chicken. A couple of rabbits. Not a whole lot I'm seeing over there. We have got Trapper level 3 though, which is beautiful news. And we are hopefully going to be seeing this whole thing get sorted. There we go. So we need to put the there we go. All right, so that's all getting mined out. So if they want to, they're so awkward in the way they mine things. They always leave like one little bit left. It's really strange. But what we can do is we can go ahead and start throwing down an 11 by 11 square there. And unfortunately, all we can do are sweet potatoes. So we're just going to keep doing sweet potatoes. We'll do 11 by 11 there with sweet potatoes. And we're going to do a little one there as well, just to extend the whole thing over. And then I want to go into this corner. And we'll leave that gap of 2. And I think what I'm going to do is say that we could do, I guess we do some Arctic pine saplings back there, because I do kind of like those. I do like having the option to have those trees going. Let's maybe do some cotton right there, since that is something that we need as well. We probably don't need as many Arctic pine saplings as I've gone for there, though. So let's do those in that spot, and let's actually change this out for cotton as well. And that'll be our farming area, is what it'll be. I do need to change this space down here still, and I guess we could very quickly go ahead and do that, because there's not really that many strips of farmland down here. And most of it has already been harvested, so it's not like we're losing too much. So we'll just clear all of this out and turn it into, we'll turn it into something, is what we'll turn it into. I think, honestly, let's just turn it into a space for more sweet potatoes, and let's just kind of do it this way, where it just looks like one big field, but it's kind of a weird shape. I kind of like that idea. So sweet potatoes there, and there, and the whole way across to about there. And that'll be fine. Just a big old bit of land for sweet potatoes. We're almost at enough food to get more hearthlings, which would be kind of cool, but not going to hold my breath there. I don't think it's going to happen anytime that soon. And I guess my other hope at the minute is that once all of my haulers are done moving everything in from out here, that they'll go ahead and start moving all of the food from this space into storage, unless storage is full, which honestly it could very well be, but it isn't. Yeah, not at all. Storage is far from full from what I can tell, so we'll not worry too much. We'll get there is what we'll do. And I think my idea for here, oh, you know what we need to look at? We do need to look at oh wow, this is done. Not bad at all. Okay, that's kind of cool. That's something we'll use eventually. We've got our bunker is what we've got. But what I'm thinking we do is we bring this right down. So all the way down to here. And what I would like to do is go in and say, let's do a bit of mining. So we could essentially build a tunnel or carve out a tunnel. And I know if I do, let's see here. We need to read the controls for this because I've seen a couple of comments about this as well. Shift and mouse wheel will resize this horizontally. So if I was to do that, Alt and mouse wheel will be that. So technically we could do this, right? So technically, we can carve out some squares. Although I don't really want to do that kind of thing there. So let's just remove that real quick and let's try it again. So what we'd want to do is have this go that way. And I do want it to go that way a little bit. So we're going to go like that. And I want it to go and meet right here. So basically my thinking is we're gonna have a tunnel so people can get down from this space. We need to just resize this thing again so it's back to normal. I think what we could actually do is bring that back up a little bit and let's just have this whole thing be carved out like this. So it'll just be a big old tunnel that eventually we can do something interesting with. So let's start with that bit. And have that carved out. And then what we can do is go in and carve this. And carve this. And carve this as well. And that brings us down to a pretty good level, but I'm going to let it be done in stages. And then we're also going to need to go in and move this bush. So we'll move it to, I don't really know where we're going to move it to be totally honest. We'll move it to here, just sort of put it in that corner. And that'll be fine. And basically it's just going to be a little tunnel so you can get from the farms down to the houses, right? I think that's a pretty good idea. You know, just an easy little way to get around and do everything and link things together in a little bit of an interesting way. I kind of like it. I think it's a pretty solid idea. So hopefully the miner wakes up and gets it done nice and quick because the haulers certainly aren't going to be doing it. Speaking of haulers, are they all sleeping? No, they're eating, most of them. That one's sleeping right there. That's okay. Daily update, food is down. That's fine. Not really going to stress too much about that. It's not that big of a deal. And it looks like the miner is, what are you doing? So you're heading that way. You're heading into the tunnel, I'm guessing. Yes, you are. There we go. All right, so that just continues the whole way down. And if I go ahead and pause for a second, we are very, very close to having this be at the level it needs to be on. So if I do that, is that level? It is. All right, so that would be our tunnel. Also, someone can't find food. Let me guess. You're stuck in construction. Yeah. Of course you are. All right. Let's give you a ladder. Let's give you a little ladder there so that you can hopefully get done. I don't even know if, did I actually place? I did place a ladder there. I don't know who's going to end up placing it, but hopefully someone. In the meantime, let's get ourselves a bit of a road texture in here. So this and this and just the whole way along here. And just to have this match absolutely everything else that we have going on. So like this, and then we bring it straight out to connect to this road. And I think that's going to be really cool. I think that's just a cool little tunnel to have. It's nothing too major. It's not super intrusive. It's just going to link the farms in a really cool way. I'm actually quite excited about this. So yeah, you are very stuck is what you are right now. Are you going to build a ladder? You are. There we go. So you can get done. We can go ahead and remove that ladder. which has been done. So no one's going to be starving to death today. And that little path is already getting built. Not bad. I really like this. I'm not gonna lie. It's such a simple little thing, but I really, really like it. It's really cool. It's just a simple little addition. And this looks quite cool here as well, to be honest. This like weirdly shaped farm, I like that a lot, actually. I really do. We need to get fertilizer. That's the next thing we need to be doing. We need to get fertilizer so we can properly, I don't know, fertilize the crops, right? I would imagine it's going to give some kind of buff to anything that we grow, and I would imagine that means it's going to have a better yield, so that is something we're going to have to do. Anyway, I do want to have a real quick look around and see if we've got any enemies that we could deal with. I'm not really seeing anything, though. We do have a bighorn sheep out there, which, honestly, that might be the most dangerous thing that's, well, there's you guys as well, I guess, but I don't really want to build a ladder up to them. So I guess what we do is we wait for all of the hauling to be done, and then we go ahead and place down that gong thing, and we welcome a fight. That might be the thing to do. Is place down the gong, welcome a fight, and see what happens. Speaking of fights, invaders approaching. Of course they are. We will deal with that in just 1 second. I'm putting some lanterns down here just to brighten the place up a little bit. Let's see, anywhere else I can put it? Not really. I think we're good. So, where are these invaders approaching from? What's going on? Oh, that is actually quite bad. Is what that is. Let's send these guys out to deal with that. That is actually quite bad. That's... Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We are very much being invaded right now. Let's have this one get dealt with. And I think I'm probably okay to let red team manage this themselves. Oh, wait, no. That's a lot of archers. Hold on. Let's manage this myself. So we'll kill that guy who didn't appear to drop his hat. That's okay. Let's get these guys. And I think at this point, red team can manage it themselves. There we go. Yeah, we're fine. So, killed an enemy leader. Interesting. A new title, local hero, defended from 100 enemies. Oh my god, okay. That's actually pretty cool. Okay. So we got ourselves a scout's hat right there. Not bad. So yeah, red team's doing a pretty good job. They really are doing a pretty good job. I'm very tempted though to say, I do think Beardy should be an archer. I think we want Beardy to become a knight or a footman at some point. Yeah, let's do it. Let's have Beardy become an archer, because then, you know, archer is the stepping stone towards footman, right? That's kind of how that works. So where is he? Where's Beardy? There's Beardy. Where's he going? He's promoting. All right, so he's gonna go and where is he going to get this? Okay. What is my camera doing? Oh my god. I should not. There we go. I should not have been spam clicking his icon there. Turns out that makes it a little bit buggy, is what that does. Turns out that is not something you want to be doing. But that's fine. So we've got 8 people in red team at this point. I guess what we could do, I know I said I didn't want to do this, but I'm going to, just to get them trained. We'll throw a ladder there. We'll deal with these goblins. Hopefully that'll get Beardy some experience to get leveled up a little bit. And then we can turn him into a footman and basically go from there, because there's really not all that many accessible enemies on the map right now. We do still have a couple up here. We do still have these tigers, but I don't really care about them. It's not that big of a deal. There we go. So goblin thieves. Oh, it's not actually. All right. Well, let's send red team out to deal with this. Not that we really don't need alert mode to deal with that. That's fine. Is that Beardy? I think that's Beardy. Is it? That is. All right, Beardy's going to work. Not bad. Look at him. Look at that beard. It is magnificent. I understand why he has that. I love that that's a trait. I really I really love that magnificent beard is a character trait. It's just brilliant. That's so good. That is so good.